Hi, my friend. It's Pat Sloan here. Happy Friday. It is our tantalizing table topper day, and we are in the top row. So exciting. Before we go there, let me just tell you I've decided to sport both of my t-shirt and the cap that were designed by Kate Spain. They're a fundraiser to support the World Central Kitchen with funds going to Ukraine. So I just wanted to remind you that those are still available. And Kate also has long sleeves of the t-shirt, and there's quite a few different colors of the sunflower t-shirt. I just love it. So anyway, so we're doing the table topper sampler, and it's all from my book, and we're going through different quilts in here. So let me show you the quilt that we're doing today. It's called You Pick, such as going out and picking berries, maybe apples, whatever. The little image, the block, to me is like a berry basket. So that's what I was sort of channeling or thinking of when I made it. Now, the backstory on this one, in case you missed it before, this is the quilt where I sent the original top out to be quilted to my very good friends Cindy and Dennis Dickinson. And the package said it was delivered, and Cindy writes me back and says it's not here. There's no package. So it wasn't just this. There was a couple other things, but they weren't nearly as important as this for the book. And it was the only book quilt, or only quilt to be quilted. So, after much rigmarole, there was no package to be found. Nobody could figure out why it said it was delivered and it wasn't there. So I had to remake this one. So let me just look at it all its glory. Version number 2, which was pretty much the same as version number 1. I still had enough of the fabric. I think I had to order a little bit. I quilted it because I was out of time. So I did my wave stitch on there with like a tan, which I think looks really good with this because it's got like a little gold in it. So that's the backstory on this guy. Now, what does the block for this week look like? So let's look at the whole thing. So we've got our braids from last week, and I haven't done any of the spacers up there yet, but I'm doing a blue and then a pink, because in this blue, pink, blue, so it's alternating. So the corners are pink on this row and the center is blue. So I wanted primarily a blue looking block. So here is my You Pick It for this one. So excited. Now I did go through a bunch of options because it might be trickier than you think to make this happen. So if you have trouble visualizing how fabric's going to look, this sampler and these fabric selections I've done for you, because I am doing backgrounds that are not the beige, and I am working through every time how I pick the color options, what different options look like. So if you have friends who have trouble picking fabric or picking the colors, they don't feel sure, have them watch this series of videos for the table topper. So let's go take a look. So let's first look at the You Pick colors. Let me just show you on the original how I went through the thought process on this. This was a bundle, and so the fabrics were coordinated. I think it feels really fall-like. I'm going to put it on my dining room table. I think that's what I'm going to do. Well, the dining room table we don't use now because it's in the quilt storage room. But anyway, I'm going to put it on there for fall when I get around to redecorating later this week. What is this? This is Friday. This is late this week. So that means like maybe tomorrow, Saturday. Okay, so I did 4 different colors. Each of the blocks is 4 different colors. And I have black, 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 black. You can see I use black in all of them. Every single one has black. A lot of them have blue. Yeah, all of them have blue. And then I switched out the peaches and the golds for... they don't all have a peach and a gold. They have a peach or a gold. So that is the concept I did with this. And I think it's worked out really well. Now, if I was going to make a big quilt of this, I'd probably go with the same thing. Like if I was going to repeat it for like a lap size or bed quilt, I just think it turns out really, really nice when you have a few more blocks than just one. Now, we're just doing 1 block for the sampler. And because of that, I am going to use a different tactic. But I'll show you 4, and then we'll, do some options here as to what it could be. I might want to sew up 2 of them just to get a feel. So let's take a look at my fabrics. I'm sewing with my birdsong and solids. And this is a blue block now. We're in the blue for this one. I'm definitely in a color concept thing for that. So this, I'm not using the light background for the blocks if I can help it. I've used it once so far. I'm trying to use everything else and using the lights just in the sashings because I just want to challenge myself to do something different. But if you were using the lights and you wanted to, and I'm also bringing in solids. That's the other challenge I have for this is I'm using I have 4 solids. I have a green and a pink and then the yellow and the blue. So if I was going to do this with 4 fabrics and the light background, this would be great because I'd bring in some solids and then bring in the prints, and then I could play around even that print. I could do more blue, but see, I think I need, if I'm going to put the yellow, I would need the green so that they're different. I mean, even you could go like I wanted to read blue, so I need at least the 2 blues, but I mean you could do another. No, I don't want that. I'm not doing that anyways, but this is just to show you, but I'm not using this background. So since I'm not that, whoops, these are cut for sashings already in here, messing up my system. Okay, put that over there for now. So what else could I do? I have different backgrounds. Let's look at something super bold and then we'll go down in boldness. So here would be using the birds as the background. Now you can see if it were just the solids, I could do 2 blue and 2 yellow of the solids on this background, and that would totally pop. There'd be no mushiness whatsoever. You would see the image in the middle perfectly, and it would just be very, very good. So here's the block next to it so you can see that. But let's say I wanted to do 4 fabrics on there instead, or maybe I just wanted to do it really blue. So if I did these 2 blues or these 2 blues and then, you know, alternated it. So there'd be blues opposite and then the solids opposite. That would look fantastic. That would look really good. It's not bringing in any yellow, but the fabric background has yellow. So, you know, that's keeping in, you know, keeping that yellow sort of popping around the quilt. Now the same concept, you know, this is kind of the main fabric that has the bird in it. Then I have the one that's a little bit more open. And I think here is the same thing. You have to be sure what you're putting on here will pop off. And I think this print does still pop off of here, whereas on here it was a bit mushy. Not, I mean, it would work, but it was a little bit mushy. Okay, so what else do we have? Now we have some of the you know, smaller scale prints with a pale blue background, and then I'll also be looking at a smaller scale, but a little bit bigger scale with the white background. And I've used this one before already. It works pretty good, spoiler. So if I wanted to do 4 on here, this would be kind of cool. You can see the fabric. So there'd be four fabrics if I wanted to do 4 fabrics on this blue. And I think that they don't really mush in that much. I think but I'm going to just do 2 fabrics. So if I was going to do 2 and do these 2 blues, you can see it, but I think the lighter blue is better. See how much better that is? It just pops. You're not going to lose it in this background. And so here's this stripe that has some yellow, and that works pretty good too. These are very similar though. So they are going to, this whole image here is going to be kind of blobby because they're too similar in value. So I would want to do those 2. That's a good one. And then the same thing with the light blue, with this blue here, is if I wanted to do just 2 prints, I think that works great. I don't need to bring the yellow in on this block. I'm okay with that at this point. I would definitely want it on the next one, but so I don't need the green at all. If I wanted to use the stripe, I think once again it's more the issue here. It's not the issue against the background. It's the issue that these 2, when you create that image, that will be too mushy, and you're not going to get any distinction for the shape for all that work you did for piecing. So I'm sort of leaning towards this one because I've used this one once in the background. There's actually another background fabric too that I've also used once. It is this one with colors, with more colors in it. So the same kind of concept. I'm actually really curious. I would like to do one of them with this block. So I'm going to make one with this and see how it looks. Well, instead of sewing it up, you can actually see here on the mock-up really well how it's going. So nothing's sewn. So they're all individual units. So first of all, I fussy cut this so that the top is always here. I got two birds, because there's a bird looking each way, and everything is the top of the fabric here. So I fussy cut that whole block. Now what you see first here is yellow, yellow, yellow. So let's see what happens if we just do two colors. So we take the blue, like I need to rotate this down, or shift it down rather. What if we just do two blue, and there we go. So here's the mock-up of it with the two blues. All right, now they are, like I said, kind of mushy. You don't get a lot of distinction in the block. So I'm going to cut the bright blue and see how that looks. Should I do the bright blue or should I do this other one? Should I do that one? Which one? Either one, right? Oh, decisions. I'm gonna do this one. Let's try something else. So instead of this stripe, which is a little too mushy, with the blue. So let's try the brighter blue. So much better. You can really see the block, and it looks super cool. Now I thought instead of, when I did the green and the yellow in here, let's leave two blues, and let's see what doing two greens would do. And I'm going to use a green solid and a green print. So there would be. Now the thing is, this green, when you do this green print this reads solid, doesn't it? And these three read solid, and this one reads more as a print. So that's really not a good option. So here we go. This is the option that I will go with. But would you like to see it on the different background? You can just lay it on top of another fabric without cutting all of this. Since I sort of knew I wanted to do this, was pretty sure if I could get it to work. But let's see, if I just wanted to use this fabric, I could audition it by just laying the blocks on top, which will give me a feel. It won't be exactly, but you can see it. You can get a good idea by doing this. And then you don't have to cut out the fabric. There you go. So you just put those pieces on top. See, now that looks absolutely fabulous as well. I mean, it really, really pops. There's no problem with doing that. All right, but I'm going with this one. This one with the birds. So that was a really, really fun exercise for me. And also you could see how once you have the center sort of figured out, you can lay those center pieces that are cut just on top of big pieces of fabric to audition other backgrounds. You don't need to go and cut all the other backgrounds in order to do that. As long as you have, and you could have done that with this if you were unsure about this one, which I'm sure some people were, and you might still be, but you only have to cut the middle part and then just lay it right on top like I showed you. So let's see what it looks like up there. I haven't seen that yet. I wait until now to see it with you. Okay, so there we go. Now there are, whoops, I need to move this over. So I have the spacers, so there has to be spacers in between, like sashing. And then there we go. So up some more, the camera shift, yeah. So there we go. Okay, let me get the other camera and show you on that. There you go. You can see all of it straight on, and the blue looks really good there. So I've got blue, 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 and then blue will be here, and then these two and this one will be primarily pink. I have not decided on the sashing yet, whether I might mimic this again. And then I do want to get the background, the sashing between these, which will be the background fabric, the cream. Yeah, looking straight on is a lot easier, isn't it? You can really see the colors. Plus I have a picture at my website today. So I want to show you the Spooky Box ghosts. I have all the ghosts done. Look at them. Aren't they cute? Oh my goodness. So cute. So my goal is to get the rest of the pumpkins cut and sewn, and then the spiderweb blocks. There's more of those than the other two. They're So I only have one of pumpkin and one spider web so far, but okay, so that's on my agenda on the short list. What else? I have a few things to show you here from the Fat Quarter Shop that they sent. Let's first let's do a cross stitch. So there's a needle minder for fall. Look how cute that is with the pumpkin and the crow and this sunflower. See, could wear that while I'm wearing this. And there's two other cross stitches that came in. This is their stitch card series, and look, the gnome. There he is. Look at him. Oh, and a mushroom. Did I tell you I went to college with one of my college friends? Her family owned a mushroom farm in Reading, Pennsylvania. Yeah, so I went out. I didn't get to tour the farm, you know, but I was in college. It didn't really occur to me to want to do that, but I would do it now. That's so cute. And then they have another in their typeface series with Frosty the Snowman, with all the different ways you can say Frosty the Snowman. And I want to show you this quilt pattern because I think this one is gorgeous. Look, so you see it down at the bottom? So they always do sort of a close-up so you can kind of see the block structure, and then there's a picture there. And of course, when you go to their website, you can, you know, blow it up. But I think, wow, that is cool. I'm going to keep this one out as a potential for us to do as a sew-along because it is, I think, 2 blocks. I didn't open the pattern yet, but it looks like 2 different blocks, but the whole way it's set up is very cool. All right, I also have one of these to show you. The clubs that came in, the color clubs, and this color club is blue, navy to be precise, like the hat. So there is all the different pieces that are in it. So they always give you that sheet so that you can order it if you want more. But look, first of all, this is on top. Oh my goodness, be still my heart. Look at that. That's a mariner's compass, in case you didn't know. It's a mariner's compass block. And let me just scroll in just a little bit so that we can really see things. There's a beautiful little moons. I like this one. It looks like tapestry. Oh, look at that. That must go with this, right? It's got the same mariner's compass. Then a nice, like a ticking stripe. Then here's another little small print. Some little stars. It's nice to have that scale when you get these. Not only scale, but you get the different shades, so they're not just all the same shade. Ooh, that's neat. That is very neat. There's another that looks like a quilt pattern. And then a lighter blue of the mariner's compass, and then a lighter blue of it in this block. Looks like tile work. That'd be a gorgeous border or a backing. Beautiful. Oh, made of stardust. Dreams do come true. They're made of stardust. Beautiful. Oh, and I like this. I like this. That's cottagey. Very nice. And a really nice pale light blue. Bluey gray. So those are all gorgeous, and you should still be able to get this. As of filming this, there were some in the store. Today is your You Pick It block. And I hope you do something a little bit different. I hope you just sort of branch out a little bit, maybe try a different background like I have here. Let me just put it so you can see it. Be sure it's not blending in. There we go, so I can hold it there. So I can't wait to see what you do with this one and how it looks. And hey, one of you could just go make the whole quilt too. Just, you know, do that this weekend. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.